Did you know that a single leaf from a plant sold at your local nursery could stop your heart? Sounds extreme, but it's true. Today, we're counting down 7 of the most dangerous plants you should never bring home. You've probably seen some of these at garden centers. And number 2 is one of the most common house plants people buy without knowing the risks. Stick around because this list might just change how you shop for plants forever. I've spent years around gardens and nurseries. One thing that shocks me is how many dangerous plants are sold without a single warning label. Organizations like the ASPCA, Poison Control, and the Royal Horticultural Society all have long lists of plants that can seriously harm people and pets. Yet there they are, sitting on the shelves at your local garden center looking completely innocent. Nobody tells you, nobody warns you, and that is exactly why we are having this conversation today. Let us start with number 1 on the list, and that is oleander. Now, at first glance, oleander is genuinely stunning. It is a tall shrub with thick green leaves and clusters of bright flowers in pink, red, or white that look like something straight out of a tropical holiday. Nurseries love it because it is drought-resistant. It grows well in warm climates, and it turns an ordinary backyard into something that feels exotic and alive. Sounds perfect, right? Well, here is the part nobody tells you at the checkout. Every single part of this plant is poisonous. The leaves, the flowers, the stems, even the smoke if you are foolish enough to burn it. Oleander contains compounds called cardiac glycosides, which are the same chemicals used in certain heart medications. The difference is that in medicine, the dose is carefully controlled. In oleander, it is not, and even a single leaf can be fatal to a small child. Dogs and cats face the same risk with symptoms that range from vomiting and a slowed heart rate all the way to sudden death if they do not get treated in time. In California, there have been documented cases of horses dying after eating oleander branches that were tossed into a pasture. Pet hospitals issue warnings every single summer when people trim their hedges and animals get into the clippings. If you love that vibrant tropical flower, look, the safe swap is hibiscus. Just as colorful, completely non-toxic to people and pets, and it gives you that same warm garden energy without any of the hidden danger. Now, if oleander surprised you, just wait, because number 2 is even more unsettling. It looks like something from a fairy tale garden, but inside your body, it can act like a time bomb for your heart. Number 2 is foxglove. Foxglove looks like it was designed by a fantasy artist. Tall, elegant stems covered in bell-shaped flowers painted in purple, pink, and white. Walk past one, and it genuinely takes your breath away. That is exactly why nurseries stock them. They are eye-catching. They attract bees and hummingbirds, and they turn a plain flower bed into a showpiece. People buy them because they look magical, but inside those delicate blooms is a seriously dangerous chemical called digitalis glycoside. Now in controlled medical doses, digitalis has been used for centuries to treat heart failure, but in the actual plant, the dose is completely uncontrolled, and that is where things get dangerous. Eating foxglove can cause nausea, severe vomiting, irregular heartbeat, seizures, and in serious cases, cardiac arrest. Children are especially at risk because those tubular flowers can look almost edible to a curious kid. In the UK, there have been real reported cases of gardeners suffering serious poisoning simply from handling the plant without gloves and then touching their mouth. Emergency rooms still see cases of accidental foxglove ingestion from both pets and people every year. If you want that same tall, colorful, vertical look in your garden, the safe choice is snapdragon. It grows just as tall, comes in the same beautiful range of pinks, purples, and yellows, and it is completely safe for children and pets. Same charm, zero risk. And if foxglove gave you a bit of a chill, just wait for number 3, because this one is sitting in millions of living rooms right now, and most people have absolutely no idea what it is capable of. Number 3 is dumb cane, also known as Dieffenbachia. You have definitely seen this one. Big glossy leaves splashed with creamy white and yellow. That lush tropical indoor vibe, low maintenance, tolerates low light, looks great in any corner of a room. Nurseries push it because it practically sells itself. But here is what is hiding inside those beautiful leaves. Dumb cane contains microscopic, needle-shaped crystals called calcium oxalate. The moment someone bites or chews on the plant, those crystals fire into the soft tissue of the mouth and throat like tiny shards of glass. We are talking intense burning pain, swelling of the lips and tongue, and in serious cases, the throat swells badly enough that breathing and speaking become difficult. That is actually where the name comes from. People who have been exposed are left temporarily unable to talk, as in literally dumb. Poison control centers across the United States and Europe receive regular calls about toddlers chewing on a leaf or cats and dogs getting into the stems. In severe cases, hospital treatment is needed just to keep the airway open. Even touching the sap with bare hands and then rubbing your eyes can cause serious irritation and burning. The safe alternative, if you love that bold leafy tropical look, is either a parlor palm or a Boston fern. Both are hardy, easy to care for, completely non-toxic, and they deliver exactly the same lush green energy without turning your living room into a hazard. And before we get to number 4, I want to take a quick second to talk to you directly. If you are finding this video useful and you want to keep learning about how to make your garden safer and more beautiful, then please hit that subscribe button right now on Senior's Garden and turn on notifications. We put out videos regularly on plant safety, garden care, and everything you need to know to get the best results from your outdoor space. It costs you nothing to subscribe, and it means you will never miss a video that could make a real difference for you, your family, and your pets. We have a community of garden lovers here who genuinely look out for each other, and we would love to have you as part of it. Hit subscribe, turn on that bell, and let us keep growing together. Now back to the list, because number 4 is one that catches a lot of people completely off guard. It looks like a miniature palm tree. It is sold as a decorative showpiece, and it has sent countless pets to emergency vets. Even a small taste of this one can shut down the liver. Number 4 is the Sago Palm. The Sago Palm looks incredible. Stiff trunk, dramatic dark green fronds fanning out wide, an exotic tropical feel that makes people think of warmer places. It is low maintenance. It looks striking both indoors and outdoors in pots, and nurseries love selling it because people see it as the perfect statement piece. But underneath that beautiful exterior is one of the most serious risks you can bring home if you have pets. Every single part of the Sago Palm is toxic, but the seeds are the worst. They contain a toxin called psychocin, which directly attacks the liver. For dogs and cats, even a small nibble can trigger vomiting, diarrhea, seizures, liver failure, and in many cases death. Veterinary hospitals across the United States issue regular warnings about this plant because it is consistently one of the top causes of fatal poisoning in pets. The cases are genuinely heartbreaking. Dogs find a fallen seed in the yard, get rushed to the vet, and the survival rate once symptoms set in is very low and treatment is extremely expensive. And here is what makes it so dangerous. It does not look threatening at all. No thorns, no bright warning colors, nothing that signals danger. It is a completely silent killer for animals. If you want that tropical palm aesthetic without the risk, go with an areca palm or a ponytail palm. Both give you the same decorative appeal indoors. They are completely safe for pets and kids, and they thrive without being a hidden threat. Now, if the Sago Palm worried you, number 5 is going to genuinely alarm you, because inside this plant is one of the most infamous poisons in the world, the same one you have heard about in spy thrillers and crime dramas. Number 5 is the Castor Bean Plant. The Castor Bean Plant is dramatic looking, tall stems, oversized, star-shaped leaves, spiky red seed pods. It is sometimes sold at nurseries for its exotic tropical appearance, and it grows fast, fills up space quickly, and draws attention in a garden. But here is the truth about what is inside those seeds. Castor bean seeds contain ricin. Yes, that ricin, one of the most toxic naturally occurring substances ever identified. Ricin works by shutting down the body's ability to produce protein, which leads to complete organ failure. Just 2 or 3 seeds are enough to kill a child. For pets, the danger is equally severe. Even handling the seeds without washing your hands properly and then touching your eyes or mouth can put you at risk. This is not a hypothetical threat either. Poison control centers have documented real cases of children mistaking the shiny seeds for something edible and ending up in emergency rooms. In many places, growing castor bean plants is actively discouraged or even legally restricted because the risk is simply too high to ignore. If you want that bold, dramatic, leafy, tropical look in your garden, the safe alternatives are elephant ear or canna lily. Both give you those large, striking leaves and vibrant flowers without putting your family or pets in any danger at all. And if ricin sounded terrifying, number 6 might surprise you even more, because it is one of the most common landscaping plants in the entire world, and most people have no idea it carries any risk at all. Number 6 is Azaleas and Rhododendrons. Walk through any nursery in spring and you will see them everywhere. Walls of color, pink, purple, red, white, blooms so vibrant they almost look too good to be real. Homeowners love them because they are tough, evergreen, and they transform any front front yard instantly. But hidden inside that spectacular display of flowers is a group of compounds called cyanotoxins. These toxins interfere with the body's sodium channel, which are the signals that keep your nerves and muscles, including your heart, working properly. Even just a few leaves or some nectar from the flowers can cause nausea, dizziness, dangerously low blood pressure, and in severe cases a coma or fatal heart complication. And this has actually happened in documented history. Ancient records describe something called mad honey made by bees that fed on rhododendron nectar in parts of Turkey. Soldiers who consumed this honey centuries ago became violently ill with confusion, vomiting, and paralysis. The toxins were strong enough to carry over into the honey itself. Modern cases are still reported today. Poison control centers receive calls every year about dogs chewing on azalea leaves with results including vomiting, drooling, weakness, and if not treated quickly, death. The ASPC lists azalea as one of the top plants that can be lethal to pets. A safe alternative for that same spring burst of color is camellia or viburnum. You still get lush green foliage and beautiful showy flowers without any of the toxic risk to your family or your animals. And if azaleas surprised you, number 7 is going to hit differently, because this one is a plant people bring into their homes every single year during the holiday. They put it on tables and shelves like a decoration, and for cats it is potentially fatal, even in tiny amounts. Number 7 is lily. Lilies are everywhere. Weddings, funerals, Easter, holiday arrangements. Florists love them, and so do homeowners. Tall stems, broad petals, that incredible fragrance. They feel elegant, almost sacred, and nurseries and garden centers sell them constantly in pots and as cut flowers. But what most people do not know is that for cats specifically, lilies are absolutely deadly, and the threshold for danger is shockingly low. We're not talking about eating a large amount. Even the pollen alone, if it falls onto a cat's fur and the cat grooms itself and licks it off, is enough to trigger acute kidney failure. Drinking the water from a vase of cut lilies has proven fatal. Within hours of exposure, cats begin vomiting, lose their appetite, and become lethargic. Without immediate emergency treatment, the survival rate is extremely low and the window is short. Vets warn that if treatment does not begin within 18 hours, the chances of survival drop drastically. Every single holiday season, veterinary clinics report a wave of heartbreaking cases from cat owners who simply did not know. They left Easter lilies on the kitchen counter, went to work, and came home to find their pet in a serious medical crisis. And it does not matter which type of lily it is. Easter lily, tiger lily, daylily, stargazer. If you have a cat in your home, every single one of them is dangerous. Even dogs can experience stomach upset from lilies, although they are less sensitive than cats. The safe alternatives for that same graceful long stem beauty are orchids or roses. Both are pet safe. Both look stunning in a vase or a pot, and neither one comes with a hidden danger to your animal. And that brings us to the end of the main list. But before we finish, I want to give you a few quick honorable mentions that did not quite make the top 7, but are absolutely still worth knowing about. First is hydrangea. Those gorgeous big ball-shaped flower clusters are one of the most popular garden plants in the world, but the leaves and flower bud contain cyanogenic compounds, the same chemical family that can release cyanide when broken down in the body. Large amounts are needed for serious harm, but pets and children are still at risk if they chew on the plant. Next is monkshood, also called aconidum or the queen of poisons. Its tall spikes of deep blue and purple flowers look almost regal, but just touching the plant without gloves can cause tingling and numbness on your skin. Ingesting even a small amount has proven fatal and has been documented in poisoning cases going back to ancient Rome. Gardeners are still warned today to handle it with full protective gloves. And finally, philodendrons. You will see these absolutely everywhere as indoor plants, climbing up trellises or trailing from hanging baskets. They are not as deadly as the others on this list, but they do contain calcium oxalate crystals, the same irritants as dumb cane. Chewing on a leaf can cause burning, swelling, and drooling in pets or children. Not usually life-threatening, but more than enough to send you to the vet or the emergency room. Now let us finish with a few simple safety tips that can genuinely protect your family and your pets going forward. First, always read plant labels carefully. Look for words like toxic, poisonous, or not safe for pets. But also understand that if the label says nothing, that does not mean it is safe. Many nurseries simply do not include that information. Take 30 seconds to search the plant's scientific name on your phone before you buy. That one quick step could prevent a serious accident. Second, if you ever suspect that a child or a pet has chewed on something suspicious, do not take a wait and see a pro. For pets, call your vet or an emergency animal hospital immediately. For people, contact poison control or go straight to the emergency room. The earlier treatment begins, the better the outcome. Third, fill your garden and your home with safe alternatives. Plants like lavender, marigold, and sunflowers are bright, beautiful, attract pollinators, and are completely non-toxic. You do not have to sacrifice beauty to have a safe garden. And your bonus tip is that when in doubt, look it up before you buy. 10 seconds on your phone can save you from a nightmare situation. It is always worth the extra moment. Now, before I let you go, I want to mention one more thing that a lot of you have been asking about. have. Every tool and piece of equipment you need for your garden is linked right down there in the description below. We have put together everything from basic essentials to the stuff that actually makes gardening easier and more enjoyable. And here is the best part. If you buy through our link, you get $10 off your order automatically. So if you have been thinking about picking up any new garden equipment, this is the perfect time to do it. Check the description, grab what you need, and save yourself $10 while you are at it. We only recommend products that we genuinely believe in and that will actually make a difference in your garden, so you can shop with complete confidence. So there you have it. 7 of the most dangerous plants that are regularly sold at nurseries. All of them beautiful, all of them common, and all of them carrying risks that most people never hear about. The nursery is not going to warn you. It is up to you to know what is safe and what is not. Now, I want to hear from you. Which plant on this list shocked you the most? Was it oleander, the